All right, in the last video we went over the facing, the adaptive clearing down to this point, and then the adaptive clearing deeper, basically down to here, and then finally on the outside the adaptive clearing. Now we need to do some contours and some chamfers and clean and do this little ring groove. So the first thing I'm going to do is do a 2D contour. And for a tool, let's take a look. I think we'll use the 3/8 inch flat end mill. And we're going to basically go here. This is for a bearing, and so on the contour, we're going to just choose that height. But on the passes, we're going to do repeat finishing passes, basically do a spring pass, and then just have a little bit of negative stock to leave in the radial. 6/10,000ths is a good starting point. Sometimes it's up to 1,000th. Again, that's in the radius, and so the diameter would be twice that. So it basically makes the hole slightly larger for the bearing to fit in. So doing this, we can hit OK, and that gives us that. Now that end mill isn't deep enough to do a contour deeper, and so way down here on the inside, so we're going to use a longer 1/2 inch end mill. So we're going to go to 2D contour. I'm going to choose this edge. The tool that we'll use is a long end mill. I think we have a long 1/2 inch end mill here. It's a long flute, and we'll select that. Then for the height, we're going to go down to this depth here, and we'll just repeat finishing passes. We don't need to do a negative stock to leave because the bearing isn't fitting in here, but it's always nice to do a finishing pass on that. So we'll go here. We got that. And then finally we want to do one on the outside. So we're going to go 2D contour, click here, and we'll use the same tool on the selected depth, and we'll go OK. So now we have that. I guess I forgot to do repeat finishing pass, which is the spring pass. So we have that. Next we want to do these chamfers. To do that, we'll go a 2D chamfer. We have a chamfer mill. Looks like it selected it for us. Tool number 8. If yours didn't automatically select, it'll be tool number 8. This 41-degree chamfer mill. We'll select that. I guess I didn't select it. Okay, and then we'll just click this edge and this edge. Basically the height will be the selected contours. I often like to have overlap. Basically, instead of the lead in and lead out at the same spot, we go past on the lead out just to make sure that it doesn't leave a little weird mark where it leads in and leads out. You can do a repeat finishing pass. I don't think it's necessary, so let's hit OK. Let's take a look. So something's wrong. Let's right click and go to show log. It says try setting the chamfer width and chamfer clearance to 0. Let's try that. The chamfer width is already defined here, so we don't need to add it in manually. So we're going to go chamfer width to 0, but the chamfer clearance to 0, and then see if that works. Okay. So you can see how the lead in and the lead out are different. I'm not sure why it's a straight lead in. I just want to check that really quick. Yeah, let's put in a lead in radius and see. So it's not coming straight into the part. No, it doesn't like that. I guess we'll have to leave that as a default 0. Okay. Let me try one. Before we just go to 0, let me just try a smaller number. No, it does not like a lead-in radius for some reason. Alright, we'll have to leave it at 0. For the sake of keeping the video short, I'm not going to try to hunt down that issue. But basically, we'll come in, do a chamfer, go around, and then it enters here, and then leaves here, and then the same thing on the outside. Final thing we want to do is this little groove here. This is for a retaining ring, an internal retaining ring. It's kind of hard to see, but basically we have a internal slot mill that can get into that space and clean that up, and we're just going to do that with a contour. Select this edge, the tool that we're going to use. Let's see. It's right here, this little slot mill. The slot mill height is about the size. I purchased it for that size of that height of that ring clip, for that internal ring clip, so we can just go select. And then we'll do multiple or repeat finishing passes. And hit OK there. And it just goes in, and we'll clean up that. And so that's basically it. We can simulate everything through. You're here early. I was making a video.